Welcome back to another episode of the Speaking Truth podcast, man. We're here at Double M Studios, man. Thanks to all the guys and the team, man. First of all, appreciate ZUBI
Appreciate you.
right here,
Thanks for
pushing up.
having me.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna have a good podcast here today, good interview, man. First of all, how you feeling today, man?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed. How are you?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. First of all, before I even get into that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe too. My bad, y'all. You know I gotta make sure y'all gotta hit the like
Get all
button
that
and
out
all
the
that
way.
stuff. So we gotta get all that out the way. So keep supporting me, doing my thing. This is year 5. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody that's been tapped in. But you know what I'm saying? I feel blessed. You know what I'm saying? To really answer your question, you feel what I'm saying? Because you know I have the opportunity to keep doing these things and keep interviewing, keep podcasting with people like you, man. You know, especially come through Double M so often. You know, I've been seeing you ever since I came here. I think that was 2023. So I've been seeing you around for a minute, and especially now more recently, I'm seeing you more. Now we want to do an interview and connecting and stuff like that. So I appreciate you, man. And we got some things to actually talk about. You feel what I'm saying? We gonna have a good, like I said, good session here today. So, you know, first off, you know, the music for you, I've seen that. You know, you've been in it for a while actually.
Yeah.
You know, I went through your YouTube. I was like, okay. Got some views on some videos. I said, okay.
Trying to
Nah, you know,
doing the best we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just been trying to just keep pushing. You know, keep doing what I'm doing. It's been a journey. It's been a journey. But you know, I'm proud of where I am right now. I know it's like more stuff to do, but I'm just like enjoying the process.
For sure.
So yeah, man. Yeah, let's get into it.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, a little background. A little quick thing that we got to talk about because ZUBI, you know, he looked like he's 6'5". So this man
On
had
a good day.
on a good day, right? So that means that man had to play some basketball at some point. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, talk about that. You feel me? Like I know basketball's part of your life story and your career. So you know, what was basketball like for you?
I guess basketball started a little late for me. I know like some people played. I know you played. You probably played when you were younger and stuff like that. But I was a little late bloomer because coming from. So I was born in Italy. So we played a lot of like handball, soccer, and stuff. So it wasn't until I came to the States when I was 10. I really got into basketball, and I was at the church that I used to go to. There was like a basketball court, so I would just see the kids out there playing, and you know, I wasn't really the best, but I had I guess the ambition to just like try to get better. So and then after that, I started playing 6th grade, so I started playing middle school. So after that, I went on to play in high school and stuff like that. So that was like my first. I would say my first. Let me say like my first.
That was like your first thing that you like found like.
Yeah, like I drive, but but then real life hits. You know what I'm saying, and then like with the recruiting process and stuff like that. So and I was very so focused also on like books. So I kind of gave that up in college, and just try to focus on school and stuff like that. But yeah, that kind of sucked though. So that's why when I found music, also at a very young age, I just tried to take that very seriously. So I felt like basketball was kind of like stripped away from me. So and I didn't like how that felt because everything that I tried to do, like being on the court not hooping, it just didn't feel right. So when I decided to lock in with music, I, made a promise to myself and said like, I don't want this to, I'm going to really guard this, this thing, music, for myself and not let anyone strip that away from me. So that's why I take music very seriously, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, I still hoop though, try to get in, here and there, wherever I can find some runs, but people out in Maryland, they don't be out in the DMV. They don't be hooping.
Playing.
They don't. They be having.
Playing. Y'all know y'all be playing.
They be having. They
the
be
run
having.
Set up. Look, the run set up.
The run set up. So
look.
either you gotta go to LA Fitness, or what I'm saying, you gotta know somebody who's doing like open runs. But it's been difficult. But I try to get it in
for sure.
As much as I can.
Real quick on the Maryland dudes, y'all man, the runs be at a certain time. Y'all see the time to set up. I got the updates every week. Y'all be playing, and y'all don't want to put it to the runs. Speaking of runs, back outside, quick little promo, man. August 1st. If you ain't heard it yet, you heard it here right now. But yeah, bro. I mean, it's funny because now that I'm a coach in basketball, like I'm definitely, I feel like I'm. It's not
understand.
I'm in understanding a little bit, but I feel like at least right now because I have guys that are in high school, just starting high school, right? It's, not walking on eggshells per se, but I don't want to feel like I'm the reason, like someone may have lost passion for the game or like may have not gotten what they want, and it's like but at the same time even through these situations, I feel like basketball, the thing that I love about it for me as I got older and started to realize it does teach you a lot about life and who you are as a person.
Yeah.
The type basketball player you are is going to reflect to the type person you are in real life, I feel like. So it's like, that's the impact of basketball for me.
That's crazy because I also, like, as I got older, I started to understand, like, that transition from, like, basketball to real life. And a lot of those things, like, when you were younger and they used to tell you, like, that teaches you, like, life lessons, you didn't really understand because you probably ain't, like, live yet, what I'm saying? But now that I'm a little older, I've gotten to live and, seen the good and the bad, I started to understand, like, it's just like basketball. You mess up on the play. Coach will tell you we're gonna get it back. You get it back on defense. Let's try to make a stop. So those things, those little things, you apply them to real life. Like when situation happens and things don't go your way, it's okay. Let's call a timeout. Let's get draw up a plan and let's go out there and execute. So those little things, I never really understood them when I was younger, but now that real life is happening, I'm starting to understand that. So yeah, like the transition is crazy. I was watching this reel, and this dude is a content creator. He was like, if you want to make friends, see the type of dude somebody is, go ahead and play pickup basketball and see what type. So if they dishing the ball out and stuff, that means okay, they understand like sharing, setting up other people for success. If they just jacking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they selfish.
Selfish dude, you know what I'm saying?
Man, pass the ball, man.
You're selfish people, so you can really tell a person's like, someone's personality based on how they play the game, so someone that always playing defense, not the best on offense, but like he can hustle. Like he's just trying to make a play. So we know a couple of those in real life. So it's just amazing how the game translates into real life if you've played the game.
Right.
So yeah.
For sure. You mentioned Italy, man. I ain't gonna lie. That one caught me off guard because they call you the African giant here. I ain't gonna lie. So the African giant was born in Italy, man. Like, so how much time did you spend there?
I was born there in 1996. I was there for 10 years.
Okay.
And then after that, I came to the States. It was an interesting childhood. I would say the least. It's just different out there. When I came here, it was a total culture shock. Everything just like so fast paced, but over there is nice, chill. So but I've been adapting. I've been adapting. I've been trying to make the best of whatever life throws at me. But yeah, man, I was born in Italy. I had some great times over there. So yeah.
For sure. That's cool, man. I ain't gonna lie, like being born in a different country.
Yeah, man.
You come in 10 years, but like, I feel like even that's kind of, like you said, it's a culture shock. That's a lot for a 10-year-old to deal with, you feel what I'm saying? So like,
yeah, man.
Basketball being something, was music also something that you knew kind of at that age too? That's something that you could have like a safe space in, you feel me?
Yeah,
like,
so I feel like with music, the term like you're a product of your environment, I feel like there were little things that were placed, at an early stages of my life where it was just like hints, so like for example, where like my mom used to go to work or she used to like have me, she needed to do a task at home, she would like put on like MTV.
Okay.
Excuse me. So I used to she used to like tape what do you call it? She used to tape like on the VHSs, like she used to like tape the, back then when you gotta tape it, So like I used to just pop one of those in, and I used to watch like a lot of pop music, so a lot of like Madonna, heavy on Michael Jackson, just like any like pop, Shakira, like you know, just pop music.
Right.
And then you know, come in. My dad was always in the choir, like church, sang at church, so I used to just follow him as well. When I came to the States, I did the same thing. So just, you know, singing at church. I learned like poetry in my senior year in high school. I learned how to write like poetry. Shout out to Mr. Ritter. He taught me how to, you know, write poetry, and that's when I fell in love with writing. In college, I used to write like people's papers, like a side hustle. So it's just little things that you know, I used to do, not knowing that it was gonna lead into music. And then I used to also dance. Like I used to have my like you know, during college I used to dance like with my guys, High Life Africans. You know what I'm saying? So we came out of community college, and we were, you know, dancing and showcasing with other like schools that had like what do you call it, like ASAs and stuff like that. So yeah, like it was just little things, and then pandemic hit.
Shout out to the ASAs real quick.
Yeah,
them days, man. I ain't gonna lie, y'all had straight turn, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, those days were it was different. It was like everybody used to come out and, you know, watch dance battles and stuff. So you know, I started there, and you know, that kind of helped me with having like stage presence, you know, when I perform and stuff like that. So yeah, and then the pandemic hit, and you know, I was just trying to. I remember one of my friends, Stanley. Shout out to Stanley. He took me to Hustle Firm. I don't know if you're familiar with Hustle Firm Studios, and we did a podcast. But right next door, there was a studio set up. So I inquired about that, and then after that, I just started going to the studio, and like, you know, when there was a lot of downtime. And I started like experimenting, you know, and that's kind of where like everything started to come together. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna take this seriously. And then I started making music, dropping, and going from there. Now we're here today. But it's been like little things, you know, in my life that, you know, kind of shifted that towards making music.
That's funny. Like I always see that too. Like, you know, things are everything. Not even that. I would say, I remember I have a conversation with my college friends. Like in this, we used to have this debate. It was like, do you think that you know, life is already written for you, or do you kind of write, like add on into the book as you go through life? You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like it's a mixture of both.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's a nice way to see it. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a mixture of both. You know, it's like there's I guess like a prototype, you know, and then like it's supposed to look something like this, but your experiences, the things that you do, the decisions that you make, those are the little add-ons, you know. But yeah, I've never really thought about that.
Yeah, it's funny. That's what I say.
That's crazy.
You was thinking about that in college, bro. That's why it's like,
yeah, y'all was
we was woke, man. Look, me and my niggas, man, 1052. Y'all didn't know what's going on, man. That's kind of what led to me doing this podcast, because like that's where, like, you know, like I said, I've always been the guy. I feel like you know, naturally, where I've given a lot of advice to people. I've, you know, been an open ear to, you know, their experiences. So, and I'm not a judgmental person, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm just here to just kind of help you push forward as well, in a sense. But you know, that, like I said, it's like I didn't know it was maybe, like you said, the prototype of me doing this, but like me going through my experiences is me writing the story that fits the prototype. So similarly, like what you just said, like you had all these little things that you were doing, hobbies and activities and extracurriculars that got you leading into the music that you're doing right now. So it's like, you know, that's where I was like, damn, like hearing that, I'm like, yo, like maybe that conversation is really like, you know, like that, or at least that, I guess maybe proverb. I don't know. I guess we can call it that for right now. But that's something that I really see in this conversation right now. So like, you know, leading to, like you said, pandemic. You know, was there any other, like, let's say, drawbacks outside of that? Maybe that was like, you know, even through you going through those little pieces, right? Was there always something that's like that, like, damn, like I want to do this, but like just something that's just that, like it's kind of a block that like I can't really get to it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the pandemic was different, like you know, hard for everybody, but you know, it just hit a little different because I was working at the hospital, so that's when it's crazy because that's when people figure out like whether you're essential or not. Like when you're
essential worker
when
days.
you're essential worker days. So everybody, all
Yeah.
my most of my friends like they were non-essential, so they used to that's when like the work from home culture started. But I was essential, so I had to they like my hospital used to print out like a document, and then because if you got pulled over, you show them like, yeah, you're essential and you're going to work. So yeah, I didn't really have I didn't really have I was still doing what I was doing. It just the world did slow down, but I was still like going to work, still working my night shifts and stuff like that. So it was hard to do all of that, but that was around the time where I found music, and I had found a studio, so I was just working, get paid, going straight to the studio, just try to record, and learning the studio etiquettes and stuff like that. So it was just more so like rinse and repeat. But yeah, it was kind of hard because I was trying to get out of working at the hospital and working night shift and stuff like that because like that stuff takes a toll to your body.
Right.
And I used to work night shifts, and when I was rooming with my friends, they sleep at night. So by the time I get home, they're getting up, and then now I want to be up with them, recording, doing whatever, and I gotta go to work the next day. Right. So I was trying to figure out how to break that cycle. So the plan was always, I'm gonna do this for right now, and then look for something that will help me kind of fix my schedule a little bit so that I can dedicate my time to music.
Right.
And that's what keeps me going every day. Just being able to elevate and do is my career wise, like from 9 to 5 versus and then using that to help me with like my music, and everything I'm doing for that. So, but yeah, it was very hard during the pandemic because I was still trying to figure things out myself, and then everything was just happening so fast. But yeah, that was some of the things that I was battling around that time.
Yeah, that puts it in perspective for me because I know coming into this conversation, I'm a little younger than you, so like COVID was my college. That was one of my college years.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, so it was I lost the year to play ball, in that time. So like also another kind of driving factor for me to lead towards this as well. That's why I said this is my 5 years coming up this summer or during the summer. But I felt that what I'm saying, in terms of like there's push, there's like I gotta push through, and like using what you're going through day to day, like, and I hear that in like the tones of your music. You feel what I'm saying? Like you do feel. I feel like with the Afro vibes in that genre in particular, I would definitely like to, move into this conversation a little bit because a lot of that music is a lot of high spirited. Like we're blessed, we're enjoying. We celebrating, we're happy. Like that's a lot of those. Like so. Talk about even through all of that, I would say adversity and maybe turmoil, like you still find ways to uplift in your music or speak positive in your music or be happy in your music. So like what goes into that?
I feel like my music is real life experiences, things that I've felt, things that I've experienced, and then also when I'm in like my creative like bag, I try to tell a story, a storyteller. So, I grew up listening to a lot of like J. Cole and, J. Cole, Drake, those are some of the, especially J. Cole, like his storytelling and stuff. So, I guess when I started, I was doing more so like, not lit music, but, we here, what I'm saying? Like we having fun, but, as I've been getting older, like I've started to realize, like life is real. So I've been really trying to pour in some of my, experiences, like some of like real stuff. So yeah, like I've been just trying to make it very personable. Like some of the stuff I talk about is real. Some of it may not be from me, but from a friend or something that a friend told me, or different experiences and stuff like that. That I just try to find a creative way to put it into the music. And I feel as though like Afro beats, it's catchy and stuff like that, but you know there's different ways that you can go about it, so I'm choosing the sticking to my truth, speak your truth.
Man.
Speak your truth,
Man, you see how I always align?
Yeah, speak your truth. I understand that the best way for you to stand out is just being yourself, because it's just you're one of one. So yeah, I've been really being very intentional on talking about like real stuff, not to say that I can't do like lit tracks or stuff like that, but just trying to be the realest, the realest me,
the realest you. Man, first of all, y'all caught the Speak Your Truth alignment right in that one joint. Like there's a reason why there's people that come to Double M. There's a reason why I speak with people that come on Speak Your Truth. The shit is not just like, because the biggest thing for me, like I said, I don't have too many opportunities to get interviewed myself, right? But I just got interviewed at an event not too long ago where they asked me what I do, and like I'm saying it now, like I'm trying to turn this more into a lifestyle than it is just a podcast and a production. You see that though in the podcast and production, how much, like when I say I connect with people, that there's a reason why there's an alignment here. You like you said, being you, I feel like you said, being 10 years old, coming into the country, you have all these things you're trying to figure out. You find safe spaces in basketball and music. Music being the driving big force now, and like you said, at first I'm trying to be lit, but now I'm really being real and breaking it down. Like you have to be real with yourself in life. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Like
you gotta tell yourself the truth.
Yeah,
you gotta tell yourself the truth, because it's just a lot of things out there that can like derail you and stuff like that. And some people still, no matter the age, they're still trying to like find themselves, trying to understand like what their purpose is and stuff. So shout out to everyone that, if you find your purpose, like really go get that, like really go fight for that, because, you only get one chance to do it, so might as well go ahead for it,
Absolutely.
It's 50-50.
Absolutely, yeah. And talk about, how, let's say a place like Double M in particular, right? You mentioned like going to the studio to get that more like true experience. What, if you don't mind me asking, what studio was that at first, and then what led you to come to Double M?
Shoot, man. Where did I start? So yeah, I started recording at Hustle Firm Studios, and then along the way, like you always meet people and stuff. So I forgot where I met him, but I met Dan Crispy. Shout out to Dan. I was locked in with him back when High Life was at by Wheaton. I don't know if y'all knew, but yeah, like High Life was at Wheaton. So yeah, I did a couple of my first tracks out there, and then they moved out here to Rockville. So and then I was actually recording at Double M with Stro. Back when there was, I think it was like at a crib in the basement.
In Olney?
Yes, in Olney. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So when I just kind of followed wherever they went, so and that's how I ended up, being here at Double M. Yeah, man, the stuff that they do out here is just crazy. I've never really seen anything like that anywhere. Usually when I go record anywhere else, it's just more so like, kind of switch up the vibe and stuff like that. But yeah, like this is really my home base. I really started with them. I love working with everybody here. Everybody's so personable. Got good head on their shoulder, and it really does feel like a family here. So yeah, I've been telling them like we need to go set up some more spaces. You know what I'm saying? Have a joint in New York, have a joint in Atlanta, Cali. But just really expanding. But yeah, I I really love it here. You know, they've really been a pivotal, you know, force to, you know, what my brand and what, you know, what I'm doing. So shout out to Double M.
For sure. And I was gonna say, even with YG Dev, I mean, he's part of the reason why this alignment is happening, right?
Yes, sir.
You know, talk about the relationship with someone like him, who's an artist, development, A&R type of, you know, guy who really has a good ear to the sound of the music.
Man, Dev's been, I don't even know how to say it, man. He's just somebody who's very, I don't know how to say it. Like, he's very personable, very, like, you know, he really cares and about, like, people. You know what I'm saying? And you know, me and him, like, I feel like we just click. You know, he has a very good ear when it comes to music. He knows exactly what needs to be added to, you know, like, make it, if it's an 8, like, how do we get it to a 9? How do we get it to a 10? You know, and he really knows what he's doing.
That's the Double M is a great home, you know, and this is not even just on some promo shit. Like, I'm real live speaking from the heart, because, you know, this is a space where you can come and, like you said, like, really be yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
I mean, it's a lot of, especially in the music industry, like, a lot of, I would say, counterfeit, a lot of just fabrication, a lot of, you know, dishonorable things, like, you know, people are like doing to try to make it in this thing. But, you know, when you come to a place like this where you see that there's other people doing it in a similar way as you, you know, it is refreshing. It just feel good, you know, and aligning with people like that, you know, and eventually over time, like, you know, as you feel more comfortable, you do things that lead to you being more confident and things like that. So, like, the name of your upcoming project is called Undeniable.
Yes, sir. July 16th. July 16th.
Get that.
Undeniable. Get that.
And speaking on that word, hold on, let me get that real quick. Speaking on the word undeniable, I feel like that's a word as a black man that, nah, for real, a word as a black man that we have to go through every day. Like, we have to be undeniable to everybody. Yep. You can't have no flaws. You have to be exactly who you are.
Well, man, preacher right now.
Bro, cause I used to, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, through basketball, like, I had to realize, learn this word, like, damn, undeniable. Like, you have to be able to do things to a point where can't nobody tell you shit.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you have to be so persistent. You got to be so consistent. You got to be so purposeful. I feel like, even as well, like, why are you even doing this shit as a man?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you got to be undeniable. So, you know, I'm so, like, I realized.
Yeah, felt that one.
Bro. You don't even,
I felt that one.
Man, undeniable as a black man, bro. Like, before we get to talk about the EP, like, you know, being undeniable, what does that mean to you?
Being undeniable, it just means, first of all, it starts off, like, knowing who you are as a person, just knowing what you got going on for yourself. And, you know, what I feel like once you realize that, that's when you like, I guess, you turn green, and then everything else turns red. And then you got to figure out, like, within the crowd, you know, it's like checkpoints, you know, so it's a green checkpoint right there, but then there's a green checkpoint, like, all the way over there, and you got to kind of wiggle your way through them checkpoints, you know, to get to where you're going. Right. So it's like, it just means for me, it just means to keep going. Like, you know, I know what I want out of this life. I know what I'm trying to do. And I feel like once you realize that, that's when the obstacles, like, just automatically turn on, because now you're, like, set in a direction, and it's just like obstacle 1, obstacle 2. So, like, it's just like levels that you just got to keep beating. And if you know, no matter how they try to box you in, they try to, you know, discredit you, not include you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to still believe in what you're doing, and, you know, just keep going. Right. Just keep going, because, again, it's really a 50-50 chance. It's either you make it or you don't. You know, though I like those odds. I don't know if you're an odds guy, but I definitely like those odds.
I like the odds. So it's either yes or no. I like that
yes
too.
Or no. It's very simple. So yeah, that's what, you know, undeniable means. Not just music, but just, like, everything in life. Just you know, working, you know, with your purpose, for your purpose, through your purpose, and you know, just seeing it through.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I agree. Because, you know, Man, being undeniable, bro. I'm sorry. Like, as a black man in particular, I'm telling y'all have to be undeniable. For real.
Yeah, can't let nobody tell you nothing, bro.
Can't nobody tell you shit.
As long as you're doing the right thing, though. Like that's all. As long as you're doing the right thing, you know. And it's funny because like even growing up, like your parents will tell you like, no, you can't do this. Or, coming from a Nigerian like family is like it's only three things you can do. You could either be a doctor, lawyer, or engineer. So if it's not any of those three, like good luck to you. But but I knew that I may not be one of them three, but I'm definitely gonna be doing something that is good. It's a service. It's good. So I don't see why I can't do that.
Right.
So yeah, like I knew that it was good. So there's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. So I just took that and just ran with it. But that's literally all it means. Just having a vision for yourself and seeing it through.
Yeah, absolutely. Be undeniable, man. Like, man, don't trust me. That word right there, like, was like not a trigger, but like I said, college, man. I'm gonna just give a quick little backstory. Some of y'all might already know, but like I just had I got recruited by one coach. Mm-hmm. He ends up stepping down. Now I got a brand new coach.
This was in college?
In college, yeah. My senior year, I had a brand new coach.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Wilson College.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Where's that at?
Chambersburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay,
about like an hour and a half away from here.
That's nice.
It was cool.
At least you got to play college ball. A lot of people don't get that experience.
Trust me, man. And I'm grateful. I'm super grateful. It was just at that point in time. That was the one point in my life, my senior year, where I was starting to kind of have resentment towards the game because it's like I had the coach in place. We didn't have a good connection, and it was like I've had that before, but this is almost disrespect in a way, like to me. And I never felt this kind of way in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, wow, like, no. I told myself that year, I said, man, no matter what I do, bro, I gotta be undeniable. Any opportunity that he feels that he gives me, I gotta be undeniable. You can't say I didn't do my job.
Yeah.
You can't say I wasn't hustling. You can't say I wasn't here. You can't say I wasn't. No, I did my job, and I felt like, especially in that year, like when I got thrown into opportunities for fire, like it's almost like I want to be the cause of the failure. Nah, bro, I'm gonna help us get back. Like you said, I'm gonna
help us get back.
I was coming in the game to stabilize, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I may not have scored 30 points a game, 20 points, but look, I came to that game and I did my job to make sure that I can contribute to the win.
I used to say, man, everybody can't go out there and score 30, but it's. I don't know if I'm more so when I play the game, I was more so a possessions guy, so it's the possessions adding up, the assists, them turnovers, them things added up. So it's like, I play the game by possession.
Yeah.
You do something, the other team does something, you come down, you gotta match it. If it's they come down and knock it down a three, you respond with a two. You try to get them to turn the ball over. Now you score again. Now you're up four. So it's just game of possessions. So it's like you gotta make it whatever time that you have. You gotta make the best out of it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Again, that's basketball translated into life. Like It's just crazy, man. It's definitely been a journey, but I'm definitely glad I got to play the game.
Yeah.
Definitely glad.
Absolutely, and then like I said, that was just drawn back to the undeniable. Like that was, like I said, for me the first. That's why it hit so hard. Like that was like the first time for me where I really felt like I had to show that. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my time to be undeniable, even if I'm going, because that was the time, like I said, I'm going back and forth from Pennsylvania to here to do my podcast.
Oh wow!
Like I'm
up and down,
like every other weekend or so. Every weekend, like at some point, just making sure I can keep doing this. You feel what I'm saying? Everything in life at that point for me became I have to be undeniable. So like that's like I said, that word hit so hard because that brought me here.
I'm glad it does because it actually I was trying to figure out like even once the project was done, I was trying to figure out like what best what word captures, you know, the season that I'm in, you know, the from the track list and stuff like that, like what word, you know, kind of summarizes everything.
Right.
Shuffled through a lot, you know, and is just undeniable. Just came up, you know, and it's very also easy to market. You know what I'm saying? So.
Because it got me feeling some type of way. You see how he did that? You see how he did that?
Yeah,
it got me feeling some type of way.
Yeah, so it's also very easy to market. But yeah, it does really it just really summarizes, like, you know, the stage of, you know, where I am in life. You know, understanding my purpose and, you know, going after it. So. Yeah, undeniable.
Undeniable, man. You better go get that July 16th, man.
July 16th, man. It's something for everybody. It's something for everybody. That's it's just different flavors. You know, there's like some seriousness in there, just like, you know, party, love, like, you know, every emotion. You know, so it's just the one thing I'd say is, like, I guess how I came up with the name is, like, you know, no matter how you try to, like, box me in and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going, you cannot deny it. You can't deny it. That there's some flavors in there. There's some bangers, you know. So, yeah, make sure y'all go get that.
Man, go get that. I heard him, man. Be undeniable, bro. Matter of fact, I might be undeniable, man. Before I really finish, I'm gonna, like, if anybody has not grasped at this point, I don't know how you couldn't grasp anything at this point about my man ZUBI here, but if they haven't grasped anything, but why should somebody click that link in your bio? Why should someone say, man, I'm gonna tap into ZUBI?
Yeah, man. Reason why I feel like you're finally gonna understand me, you know, who I am as a person, but also I just hope to inspire. I just hope that whatever I put out there, you're going to, you know, take it in and also basically just make it yours. You know, so it's just, we all go through different things in life, and I feel like the best way that we can, you know, be together is through music. You know, experience that through music. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. You know, comes out July 16th.
Y'all heard it, man. Hey, look, undeniable. That ain't just about the black man. It's about the black woman. It's about the black father, black mother,
the black community,
everybody.
Everybody.
Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what's going on out here, man. Be undeniable. Can't nobody tell you nothing when you doing anything in your purpose, man. And why do you think Speak Your Truth? Y'all see, I'm doing a lot of things. I get a lot of compliments for the moves I'm making. I appreciate that stuff, but that's just me being undeniable in my purpose, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keep pushing.
I'm pushing every day.
Keep pushing.
Y'all see the consistency. That's what being undeniable is. Find a way to apply that in your life. Be undeniable. That word has so much power. That's why I feel like that's a gospel that just came down to me today to come tell y'all.
Amen.
Amen. ZUBI, man.
Thank you so much.
Got me out here preaching and telling y'all be undeniable
on a Sunday.
Undeniable. Listen, you heard that on a Sunday. Go get that tape. Go get that tape.
I appreciate you.
Yes,
appreciate you for having me as well.
Yes, sir, man.
Thank you so much.
Tell them where they can go find you too, man. Before we get out of here, man.
You guys can find me at ZUBI Official Sound. ZUBI Official Sound on IG and TikTok. Yeah, man, that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? It's simple as that. But yeah, go ahead and get that undeniable July 16th.
Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him, man. Hey, man, like I said, if you haven't done it already, go like, comment, subscribe. Shout out to 24 FPS Boom on the production.
Boom!
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Double M Studios again, man.
Double M!
The family. You feel what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit going on. Hey, speaking of Double M and the family, go support Nas B, man. He gonna be at DC9, man. Live Nation Collection, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Nas, hold on, matter of fact, I wanna get that close. Hey, Nas, man.
Price going up.
Hey, Nas, man. Price going up, man.
Price going up.
Tell me outside August 22nd, man.
Yes, sir.
Feel what I'm saying? We gonna be outside DC9, man. My man about to turn up another show, man. Hey, shout out to Nas. I'm happy for you, man. I'm proud of you, dog.
We working
out here, bro. And you are a great example of all of that, dog. So keep pushing, man. We gonna be out there with you supporting that play, dog.
Yes,
August
sir.
22nd. If you ain't outside supporting that, you want some lame ass shit, man. Bring your ass outside. Stop playing. Speak your truth, man. Hey, hold on. Speak your truth, man. I love y'all. I love everything about what's going on, man. It's 2025. I told y'all we going up. We doing shit, man. We them ones. We them ones. I try to tell y'all. Come holler at us. We them ones, man. We gone.
Peace.
We gone, man.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.